Jefferson, thank you for being number 2 in my group of 2 travel creators.
Thank you, Jim. My bag is a little smaller. And
a little bit smaller.
A little different color, too.
Talk a little bit about what you do, and I think we're going to take a look at your video, too.
I have a travel photography series called Photowalks TV. I bring people with me to great places, show them around, and show them how to get great photos on their smartphone while they're visiting.
So Jefferson both does travel content and teaches people how to use their phone to do the content as well. It's great. It's awesome. Let's take a look. I can make this work. There you are.
I'm Jefferson Graham, inviting you to watch Photowalks TV. It's the travel photography series that takes you to some of the most photogenic places on the planet, and I offer some tips on how to get great mobile photography photos. Right now we're in Peggy's Point in Nova Scotia. We've been to Japan. We've been to British Columbia on the other side of Canada. We've been to France. We've been all over California. We've been in Atlanta. We've been in Florida. And by the time I'm done, we'll do all 50 states and a whole lot of major countries. YouTube.com/PhotowalksTV. See you there.
All right, Photowalks TV. I think there was a cameo by me in there. What was that all about?
And 2 birds just flew in. Oh, right over there.
They're your fans. We're going to call it Photofly TV.
Pretty good.
Photopeck TV.
Pretty good.
Yeah, they're actually, I brought you out to Pacifica, and you did it where I live, Pacifica, California. Photowalk TV. We did a whole thing there. Oh, hold it close to your mouth, Jeff, when you talk.
Hello.
That's better.
Pacifica, California. The last great Highway 1 coastal city before you hit San Francisco.
But the thing you see there on one of the hiking trails is where the peregrine falcons nest. We need peregrine falcons in here because their favorite food is a pigeon. That you didn't know you were going to learn that here, did you? Now you know about pigeons. All right. Talk about what it's like to be a travel creator. I mean, you were a journalist. You're like a famous USA Today journalist, and now you're a travel creator.
Yeah, and I sat down for lunch the other day, and the guy says, "You're on a show, right? Right? I know it.
Isn't that great?
I love it.
Recognize you from YouTube.
It's fun. All the same stuff that I did before. Ask people questions and who, what, where, when, and why, and how to tell a story. You just tell it within this YouTube universe. Yep. I think it's the same skills.
Yep, same skills. Applying journalism to travel journalism. So where do you post? What are your favorite platforms?
YouTube. YouTube first.
YouTube, and then YouTube?
Yes. And also Facebook and a little bit of Instagram. But it's really all about YouTube.
It's mostly YouTube. Okay, so talk about what you bring. We just heard from Jules and all the stuff she brings. What does your kit look like?
My kit, well, first of all, speaking of San Francisco, that changed my life. I was filming a segment in San Francisco with the tripod right in front of me, Jules. Tripod was right over there. Okay, 7,200 millimeter lens. And as I'm addressing the camera and saying, San Francisco's the greatest place, you're going to love it, blah, blah, blah. Somebody ran up, took the camera, took the tripod, took the microphones, put it in their car, drove away with it. Wow. All within 2 seconds. Yes. And the worst thing is it was at 5 p.m. I lost the entire day shoot. So then I said, I'm going all mobile from now on. And, so everything is about the iPhone and the Galaxy and GoPros and Insta360 cameras. And I'm closer to the tripod. And, when I do my stand-ups, when I'm addressing the camera, that's at 6 a.m. before there's a lot of people out.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. So that wasn't your latest trip to San Francisco.
No, this was a few years ago. So you use both iPhones and Android. Why, and what are the benefits and drawbacks of either? Or I would do all iPhone, but, because I get a lot of questions about, mobile photography and how to do things, I will get well, you just told me how to save your slow motion video in iPhone. How do I do it in Android? And I get so many questions. I went out.
You need to be an expert on both of them because
I also need a Pixel.
You need a Pixel.
I need a Pixel too.
The Pixel. Look, I got to tell you, I'm just going to do a little Pixel ad right here. Pixel 8 Pro, the camera works really well. It doesn't do 10x, only 5x.
Right.
But boy, it is, this is my new fave. I had a Pixel 6 Pro, but now I just use that.
At some point this year, I'll be adding the Pixel.
Yeah, well, then you can give me good tips on how to use mine better. What do you use? Oh, you also bring a GoPro. What's the GoPro for?
The GoPro is for my driving shot. I always do a shot driving through town, and I could do the iPhone. I could hold a selfie stick out the car while I'm driving. Not as good. or my wife could drive if she's with me, and I could stick my head out the window. But otherwise, the GoPro will go on the windshield wiper.
So, Jules, are you driving while you're shooting? No, okay. I just want to make sure. So there's somebody else. You do a lot of your stuff by yourself.
Yeah, it's a solo production. I stepped off a ferry in Canada, and I wanted to get the Welcome to Canada sign, which you could only get from the car. And so, yeah, I held the selfie stick out the car as I was driving.
I don't want to be near you when you're doing that.
What are you? Very slow.
Yeah, okay. What are you using for microphones out there?
I happen to have them in my pocket today.
Okay, here we go. The big reveal. Ta-da! It is
the Rode Wireless Go. Connects directly to the phone, and then this guy will go on your lapel, and I have 2 of these and 1 of these, and it changed my life. It's just really compact.
How did it change your life?
Because I don't have to string wire up people's shirts anymore.
Nice. That can be embarrassing.
And the mic packs didn't fit in my pocket like this.
So can you record on those as well, like what Jules was talking about with her setup?
Double.
Okay.
Into the phone and into here.
And it records on there as well, so you always have a backup.
Yeah.
So those are your mics. What about lights? Do you bring lights with you?
I do. I have an LED light similar to Jules and you. I have the Lume Cube. I have an Aperture. And I also just bought a Hobie light. Hobie light looks like a Hasselblad camera, and it's very powerful. And I have a softbox on it. I brought it here with me. It's not, here, but it's in my car. And so I was shooting some stuff downtown in front of the neon. Where we did, I was with a friend, we did back-to-back shots with it and without, and the without was horrendous.
Well, because the neon's so bright that the camera just automatically says, no, well, we're going to go for the bright stuff, not the dim face of Jefferson.
Right. So I really needed the light there.
Nice. What about, tripod? I see you got that little baby tripod right there.
Okay, so that's a selfie stick made by Insta360. They're in the Central Hall. $23 on Amazon. It's a selfie stick / 4-foot tripod. And in little cases like this, really good. I could be doing an interview with somebody at a diner, and just put that on the table, and it's great. But I also have a big tripod.
Okay, what's your big tripod?
My big tripod, I have a Manfrotto Element Mark II.
Everyone likes that Manfrotto stuff. I got a sense
here.
And
the Peak Design travel tripod, which I love. It's about half the weight.
Peak Design travel.
I travel with multiple tripods. My idea of when it's working is a road trip.
Yep.
And I have my gear in the car.
Yeah.
I'm going to Italy in about 10 days.
Driving?
No, I'm not driving. Will I have 2 tripods? Yeah, I'll have a big tripod and I'll have this, because I like to have one for time lapse and then the other for stills, and other things.
So when you're going to Italy, are you you're like checking luggage and carrying luggage? Are you going to carry it all on? What does that look like for you?
Carry on.
Carry on?
Yeah.
So you're just going to bring one pair of pants, one.
Yeah. And a backpack. So you can go on with a backpack and a carry-on.
Right. Yep.
But my backpack will have 3 iPhones, a Galaxy, a GoPro, an Insta360, and my microphones and filmmaking cages. Yep. So that's right. I'm not bringing the drone with me to Italy.
Right. Well, do you ever get stopped at the border and they're going through your bags and they're like, what the heck are you doing?
No.
Okay, good.
And, I'll give you a good border story. Jules, you'll like this. So for doing solo productions, I went to Mexico, Tijuana, and I wanted to capture the whole experience going through the border without holding the camera up. So I got the video glasses from Ray-Bans, and I'm wearing them, and I just press record, walk through, got the whole thing. It was really fantastic.
It's not legal though, is it?
I don't know. Nobody said anything to me.
I know when I come back in the U.S., they're like, don't take pictures, please.
Right. But they don't know what you're doing when you're wearing your video glasses.
They will. They will someday. One of the other things that I've heard about using cameras versus phones is with phones, you can get shots where you couldn't actually take a camera. I mean, it's not as good as people I've got glasses on, but does that using phones give you the ability to get shots that maybe you can't get with a big camera?
So many. The Neon Museum here in Las Vegas, big sign, no photography on cameras. Cell phones okay, but no cameras. I was doing a piece in Hollywood, West Hollywood, and I walked in. There's a rooftop bar. Walked in the door. They said, we're taking that camera from you. You can't walk in with that camera. Cell phone's fine, but you can't walk in with that camera. and a lot of, you know, like you do stuff in the stores. I was actually doing a project for the West Hollywood Chamber of Commerce, and I was given an assignment to take all these pictures of all these buildings and interiors, but they didn't want to call and tell them that I was coming.
Oh, really?
So some of the stores were sure, and then all the stores at one point just said, no, absolutely not. And I just stopped even bringing in the camera. I just shot everything on the phone.
Right. Yep. That's so the phones really can help there. What about when you're on the road with storage? How are you managing all this media that you're generating every day?
SSD drive.
Yep.
And I do online uploads if I can. It's just really spotty.
Yep.
It's really spotty. But I try to do it in small increments as opposed to waiting 5 days. So the same thing every night.
The guys at OWC are here, Other World Computing, showing off some of their SSDs and others. Either of you guys use them?
Yeah. That they are sending me the new one to review. I haven't seen it yet, but I have a whole bunch of OWC discs on my desk.
What are you using for gimbals, for the sort of Steadicam shots and other stuff?
Okay, I'm not a gimbal person because I've never seen a gimbal that truly made the shot that much better, that made it worth it to add one more thing on my body when I'm traveling solo all over town on a shoot that will begin at 6 o'clock in the morning and end at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock at night. I have not seen one. Maybe on the Canon camera, you'll see the difference. Certainly on a mobile phone, I haven't seen it. I do fine with the filmmaking cages and a selfie stick.
So talk about that cage right there, because that's yours. It looks like it's got two handles and it holds the phone really well. Is that another lens on top of it? Like, what is that thing?
I can put lenses on there and I can put filters on there. Right now, I don't have anything on there, but it's available to put magnetic filters.
What's it called? What is that?
It's called the Newer Filmmaking Cage. I bought it 3-4 months ago. They've already have a new one. It's downstairs or upstairs or wherever we are.
NEWEER, right?
Yeah, NEWWER. They're selling it for $70. The new one has Bluetooth in it.
How do you keep all this stuff charged and ready to go? I mean,
that's analog. So the other thing that changed my life,
all the stuff you bring with you, not just your.
Well, first of all, the USB-C changed my life, right? Everything is just this one cable, right? It used to be all these other cables and really weird. I bought a thing for hotel rooms, a 4-pack with 4 USB-Cs and 1 Lightning. And so I bring that with me for hotels.
Not like an Anchor or something? I mean, Anchor makes big like that, right?
Yeah. So, and then right now I just have a 2-pack because I'm just by myself right now.
What's the one thing that, you would not give up? They can't pull it out of your hand, cold dead hand.
That day shoot and the iPhone.
The iPhone. Okay. Yeah. So the iPhone is the thing for you. Yeah. So we did a little thing, beforehand, a couple of tips, and we're going to talk about them a little bit here. One is slow motion by mistake. Talk about how that happens and how you can get around it.
Okay. I don't know if this has ever happened to you, Jules, but I've done a few interviews in slow motion.
On the iPhone. On the iPhone.
Slow motion by mistake. And then I played it back and I couldn't salvage the footage. But it turns out you can. On the iPhone, you go to edit and select, and at the bottom of the screen, you'll see a little wave line. And if you move the wave line all the way to the end, it becomes regular motion again.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you guys shooting on iPhones, you ever make that mistake? That's something
to do. It's an easy mistake to make because, in the camera app, it's time-lapse, slow-mo, video, cinematic video, and you just left it on slow-mo by mistake and didn't go back to video. And yeah.
All right, what about recording video and stills simultaneously? You talked a little bit about
that. That is an Android thing as well. It's really easy. So for those of you taking video and say, well, now I have to stop the video and go to photos. Well, you don't have to. The minute you press record and you see the red button, there's a white button that comes up next to it. And that's the photo button. And just click on that.
Hit that at the same time you're recording video.
Yeah. So fireworks.
Yep.
Fireworks. I was shooting the fireworks, and my idea is safety. Let me just get it on video because I know I'll get everything, right? But I'd like to have some stills too. So just hitting the button. Did really
cool. Anything else? You got another tip for us?
Another tip.
It's a Jefferson tip.
Yeah, it's another tip. A really funny one. The other night, the guy was airdropping photos to me. And I said, just send them all to me. And he goes, well, it's so time consuming to have to do it one at a time. I said, well, not really. If you press the select button at the top and then just put your finger across the media, you could do it all at once.
Well, cool. We talked about iPhone versus Android, but how do you handle vertical and horizontal video? What do you do there?
Okay. So it's a real problem because, like Jules, I edit all my stuff. And so many times I'll do the vertical shot and then come back and go, oh, I wish I had the horizontal because everything I do is horizontal for YouTube. And so one solution is just to shoot everything with it in the middle. And that way I can edit it correctly. But, today I did a whole bunch of verticals. One thing I have found in any editing program is if you do 3 vertical shots and put them together on your timeline, bunch them together, you've filled the frame.
Oh, okay. All right. So that looks cool. That's good.
So like, for
Kind of
instance,
a nice effect.
I was doing a thing about how all the Las Vegas casinos of today are using these giant LED signs as opposed to the old neon signs. So I just lined up 3 of them on the timeline.
Oh, cool. Cool. How are you, when you go out to do your photo walks, are you planning in advance? You just like, I'm going to find out what happens when I get there?
I do research before I get there, unless I know somebody in a place like a small town near San Francisco that says, I got some great ideas for you. We're going to go here, 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 and here. And I just hold on to Jim and say, okay, go.
Sometimes it's nice to have a local guide.
That's right.
Thank you. Do you post from the road generally, or do you wait till you get back?
I wait till I get back. I did in Nova Scotia last fall. I whipped together something because the colors of all the buildings just knocked me out so much. It was like really easy to do the colors in Nova Scotia. And then I went on a lobster tour in Maine on an old boat. And that was like, get on the boat, go on the water, lobsters come out, and then the boat goes back, docks, we say goodbye. So that was pretty easy.
Pretty easy story to tell, right?
Yeah. So I did that one.
So, you go back and you edit it up and you get it ready and you pull all the stuff together. What's your edit setup like back in?
Final Cut Pro.
Okay.
I'm sorry, MacBook Pro 16-inch, Final Cut Pro version whatever, and a whole bunch of SSD drives, and a lot of airdropping from my phones. And I did a video recently on Carlsbad, which is a San Diego suburb. That actually took 30 hours.
Wow,
long time.
Wow,
a long time. Yeah.
And do you use any like special edit like keyboards or anything or other things, or it's just like keyboard, mouse?
No, I write to the footage.
Okay.
I write the script based on what I come back with. And so that's why it just takes me a while.
So you don't have a home studio at all, right?
I do.
You do? Okay.
Yeah.
What's in your home studio?
Well, I work in the garage.
Okay.
Yeah. And
your home garage.
Well, I have a desk. I have 50 terabytes of hard drives.
Wow.
Yeah. 50 TBs. Okay.
That's a lot of storage.
Yeah. And I have no room. I need more. I just bought 2 new 16s, so that gets me to 72, something like that.
You run a NAS or anything, or you just run them all in?
No. Yeah.
QNAP is actually downstairs. Go talk to them.
Okay.
I have a couple QNAP NASs that I like.
I edit on the 2 terabyte SSD, and then when I'm done, I transfer it. I also have all the lighting, a whole lot of lighting gear, and I do lives usually once a week. And so I'm doing the live thing, and I've got the big microphone and the Rodecaster, and then I've got a backdrop. I do headshots, as you know, when I'm not doing this stuff.
Right. So you have a Rodecaster. What do you use for your home mic?
It's a Rode.
It's a Rode. Okay.
It's a big Rode XLR mic. Yeah. It sounds great.
I think I have that one too. So how about packaging? When you think about packaging your videos up for YouTube and, headlines and thumbnails, how do you go about thinking about?
One thing I found that worked really well for me is standing in front of the welcome to sign.
We had a hard time finding it in Pacifica. I'm like, there's got to be a welcome.
There's a welcome to sign everywhere, and sometimes they're incredibly colorful. And if I stand in front of there, I don't have to then put the lettering at the top. I'm done with that. And it could be really bright, and it tells you exactly what we're doing. And then I hold the phone in my hand to let you know we're going to be taking pictures.
Right, and that's your you have that is your format, and that's what you use everywhere. And put it up. What about analytics? Are you an analytics nerd, or you just think I'm putting it up, I'm just going to make it up?
No, I read them, and I read them too many times all day long. Yeah, and I'm always interested to see when an older one pops. Is fascinating. Yeah, and what does hit is always interesting.
What's your monetizations like? Do you sell sponsorships? Do you do it yourself? Is it just AdSense? How do you think about that?
AdSense and sponsorships. Yeah.
So who's
now? SmugMug is my sponsor.
SmugMug, okay.
Photo platform. that people use for backups and presenting their websites and displays, and they've been wonderful. I've also had Flipboard, Mylio have also sponsored the show as well.
So you do a weekly live. How often do you post your sort of hero photo?
Every week.
Every week.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a lot. It's either Friday or Saturday. I think I did Pacific on Sunday. I've been still playing around with the days. Doesn't really matter. Mm-hmm. That's the main thing. It doesn't matter. It could be on Tuesday. It could be Wednesday. It doesn't matter. I just know that if I do a live on Thursday, I don't want to put a new episode out the next day. So I'll hold it for a while.
It's funny you call it Photowalks TV. Do you want to do a TV show, or do you want to do a fast channel of all?
I had to do that. I had to do this when people said, I don't understand. What do you mean? You're going, this is a show about walking? What is it? And so I just wanted them to understand that it was something to watch.
What do you do when it comes to managing your community? The people who watch all of them, the people who love what you do. How do you keep them engaged, informed? Do you have them tell you where to go next? How does that?
Sure. If they have ideas, I'm all ears. But I have a very popular newsletter, so that goes out twice a week. I answer all the comments on YouTube. I do as much social as everybody, and you just work it.
Yep. So that's good. Cool. Do they come with you? Do you do anything on the road? You're like, hey everyone, here I am in Pacifica or Las Vegas. Do you ever do that?
I would like to. If it could work, it would be fantastic. If all you guys want to do a photo walk tomorrow, just let me know. We'll meet at 7:00 because we want to be early before the show starts, right?
I'm on a photo walk with Jefferson. Do you use AI at all?
I use the Rev.com AI captions.
Okay. So you're doing auto captions with Rev AI.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And I've done some of the Chat GPT for going over the descriptions, which I don't think are very good.
Yeah, no.
What they are good on, they're very commercial, and they remind you about things that you forgot to think about. But the writing is horrendous.
Yeah, I do that for descriptions and titles here, but I always rewrite it. I'm like, oh yeah, that's good. I like that word. I don't like any of the other words.
Yeah.
So it helps there a little bit. So no other AI.
Every travel adventure is breathtaking. They're all epic. It's very monotonous.
Do you think you'll use it more later down the road, or is it? Do you do anything with audio? Anything else? Or is it?
Oh, I'm sorry. I use the Adobe.
It's the Adobe Audio.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yep, that's great.
Yeah. So I clean up every soundtrack in this Adobe podcast. What's it called?
Podcast plugin or something.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's free, and it really does a good job. Except there's some bloopers in there. Do you notice the bloopers?
No, because I use Descript, and they have a similar sort of studio sound thing there that I use. What's the next piece of gear that you want to buy that you don't have?
It's downstairs. It's lighting.
Lighting?
Yeah.
What is it? Do you know?
I don't know how to describe it. It's like a balloon. It's a balloon. It's like a white balloon that fits over the continuous light.
Oh, okay.
This is studio lighting.
Yep, yeah, studio lighting. And it's downstairs.
It's downstairs because, again, as a one-person solo creator, I can't drag that thing with me.
Right.
I can drag this little Hasselblad-like Hobie light.
Yep.
But not to Italy.
Not to Italy, yes.
I'm going
to Italy.
I'm going on another trip. I'm going to Wyoming in June, the week after I come back from Italy. And that's a car ride. That's a road trip. So we can put lots of stuff in the car.
Yeah, so you live in California. Are you driving to the East Coast to do stuff?
I would.
Yeah?
I would.
You said you're going to do all 50 states of that?
Yeah, I would. I haven't done it yet, but I'd love to.
A long trip in your car.
I would have a great time, but I got a new
car. Is an integral part of what you do. What kind of car do you have?
I just bought a Subaru Crosstrek. I felt it was very on brand. Yeah.
Crosstrek.
Yeah. I didn't want to have an electric car like you did because I couldn't go on the cross-country trip and freak out about running out of battery in Nebraska.
The nice thing about a Tesla is it will charge all of your batteries for you.
Okay.
All right. So you're basically got a big battery there. So we are out of time. Jefferson, thank you very much.